just make sure that all technical things are a go. So I got to find the questions box, pull it up. Let me know that you can see the Daredevil logo and that you can hear me. Okay, perfect. Here, they're starting to come in now. What's up, Danny? Hey, Carol. I never get his name right. Who knows how to pronounce his name? That name. Unto. I always mess up the name. Antano. I'm scared to say it. Yeah, I'm scared to say it because I don't want to mess up something. Stanley, Bruce, Vic. Yep. Corey, Naomi, Brian. What's up, Sean? What's going on, brother? Rafi. Perfect. All right, we got a good crew. It's just right at 2. A lot of people still start trickling in here. I just sent out a reminder to everybody that we're starting. But this is sort of where I wanted to start. For everybody that is on the call, can you tell me in the chat box if you actually did the little assignment, the homework assignment that we gave you? Can you tell me?
You're going to get detention if you didn't do it. Oh, we got a no or two there.
Oh, we got some no's. What's up? Okay, no, that's fine if you didn't. I mean, if you don't want to practice, and learn how to do it.
I'm giving them in-school suspension.
In-school suspension. Hold on, we have a loose dog in my house. So hold on one second. I'm sorry about that. He jumped in my lap. I'm trying to get him to go to his rightful owner. Okay, perfect. He's gone. No, so let me see here. So yep, yes. Rafi, Stacy, Carol. Send me back to today's class, right? You know what? You know what? Actually, Michael, the homework was actually the first time that Robert and I ever did that, like a year or something ago, when we started doing these types of trainings, like people just love it. So, let's see. My dog ate my webinar, says Kristen. Likely story, right? What's the teachers look like? So, everybody who participated, do you feel like you understand the basis of researching at a very basic level your markets, right? Did that sort of help you just get in the groove of looking at PageRank, looking at what's showing up on the first page, and then sort of figuring out how tough it would be in different things like that? Let me see if that helped. Yeah, Google was spotty last couple of days. The Hangouts gave me a fit yesterday. Yep. For everybody who needs that basic level. Yep. Because I know we have some more experienced people on here too. As well. So Hangouts, yep, perfect. Now, did anybody that did their Hangouts, do they have any results or anything they'd like to share? And then maybe we could use it if you don't care to share. Maybe we can use it as an example to show you and Derek and I and Greg. And matter of fact, before we get too far, Greg, tell everybody hello real quick. Greg is on here. Are you there with us?
I'm here. What's going on?
Yeah, everybody tell Greg hello. I called him up the other day and I was like bugging him. I was like, you need to get on my people. And he's like, fine. I'm just kidding. He was more than happy to get on here. So we do have him. So let's see. What do we got coming in? It gives you more confidence and definite selecting niches. That's perfect. And that's what it is. It's a confidence builder. Okay, we're trying to get you to do simple things just so that you know that you can do it, right? Definitely realize I messed up big time. That's good. When you mess up, you're learning. It's experience. You become wise, right? I didn't wake up and all of a sudden know everything that I know sitting here in this chair right now. Let's see. Perfect. Did my hangout this morning? It has not ranked yet for the main keyword. Haven't ordered any backlinks. Spent a couple of days messing with Manicam. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm glad everybody that did participate, like you're in a good place. Okay, everybody who didn't, you're a little bit behind. Unless you already know the markets you're in and stuff. So today is mainly about private blog networks, okay, and linking structures, okay, guys. So first of all, let's get the pulse real quick of everybody on the call. How many people have already? Okay, put in 1 if you have never bought a domain to build your own network. Put in a 1. If you started buying domains already based on some of the free, the actual webinar we gave you, Derek and I gave you, put in 2, and put in 3 if you already have your own PBN that you're linking out to and getting results.
Awesome. We got lots of 2s.
Yep, perfect. So we got 2, we got a 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, Ken, 1, lots of research. 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so everybody that's doing the twos, that's awesome. That means you've already started now. I'm sure you probably have a lot of questions, right? And I think actually, Derek, do you remember that post that was made that I was like, this would be a perfect outline for this call? Those are probably some of the same questions that we're going to address today. Actually, we might want to go over there. Let's see. Do you guys want to start with a graphic first and sort of look at it, or you guys want to go right into sort of like a Q&A style thing? Derek, what are you feeling? Greg, because I have this graphic over here. We have two choices. We have this, right? We can talk about this, okay? Or that Facebook post that had like 9 questions that probably everybody.
Right? I don't see your screen. I don't know if anyone else sees it.
Oh no, you're about to see it right now.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Yep, my bad. I had it on pause. Perfect. So here's the graphic first. So high level first, and then we'll get into it. Okay. So Derek, I want you to sort of actually, Derek, guys, you can thank Derek for this. Derek made this graphic for you guys last night. We were talking. I was like, listen, if you think that I can make a graphic that's going to even look anything like anything, you are sadly, you don't know me well enough yet. Derek's like, I got it. Okay, guys. So, Derek, if you want to sort of run through this, and then you, I, and Greg will just sort of bounce ideas back and forth and jam from here, and then and get into some questions and stuff.
Cool. Well, basically what you're looking at, this is just a basic type linking structure where you've got your tier 1 sites, and these primarily are composed of what I'm doing are blog networks. And then also, I'm mixing in some Web 2.0s as well. The whole goal of doing this is to bump your page authority and to get your pages and get your domains, the authority raised on them. That's what your whole goal is. And so the lower down the tier you go, a little bit more aggressive you can be with your link building. So that's the whole goal. We're basically taking links that may not be as high quality of a value. We're trying to get them to where they're, that we're boosting the value of other properties higher toward the tier. This does two things. This actually boosts the page authority and the site authority of our money sites, but it also helps to protect the money site to keep it from getting, penalized by having, links from all these different places and having, over optimization and all that stuff. And we can control the backlinks a little better. Now, one of the things about buying age domains, one of the advantages is that you already have, for a lot of these, that you already have backlinks built to them. You already have authority built to them. And so we touched on that in the free webinar, as well as in I believe we touched on it a little bit last week, where we talked about the backlinks have to justify the authority and the page rank. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. When you're buying these, a lot of these sites are already going to have an existing structure in place and existing backlinks in place. So that's kind of what we're looking at here with the diagram.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just throw that right in there. I was trying to put all those questions that came out of the group into a document so we can go over in a little bit. Greg, do you have anything to add? Greg?
I was muted there.
Oh, no, yeah, no worries.
Is this how you guys are recommend they do it, or can you also simplify it for them, or I'm just
we can definitely simplify. This is okay. So this is like probably a little bit more of an advanced one, right? So I mean, if you want to simplify it, Greg, that in your words, we can. Let me see. Like, simplifying it. You talk about just taking out this third tier down here.
Even the second tier. Just a lot of my stuff is just tier 1. I'll find the good sites at the tier 1, and then just use that to power the money. And what's here, it can be useful and it can be more powerful. But for those of you who want simplified, I'm in some of the toughest markets with just tier 1, and I'm ranking first page pretty easily. So if that tier 1's strong, it just depends what you want to do there. You can do just tier 1. It doesn't have to be that confusing. But adding those other tiers is more complex, and it can help you rank better down the road. So.
Yeah, and like the way that we do our tiers too, and guys, everybody on call, so you're going to hear the three different ways that we all do it, and we all do SEO well. As I'm like in between what Derek and Greg sort of does, but in our tier 2, we use those and a lot of spam going into those, and use those to create our own like second tier into the buffer to the money site as well. But for everybody, because there's a lot of people that are just starting. So what we want you focused on, okay, this is a graphic for something for long-term and very advanced and necessary in some markets. But focus on and think of everything you have as just your tier 1. Okay, all those domains you bought, you have your tier 1, right? And then linking out into your money site, or in your money site would be your Hangout, if that's what you want to rank. If a web page, whatever it is that you want to rank, that would be your money site. So it doesn't have to actually be a website. Let me open up the questions box again. I was trying to get where did questions?
And the back and forth between these two things, like just using tier 1, routing those other tiers, the two sides of that are, you can just go out and get another tier 1 for cheap, and it can be quick, or you can put the money into tier 2 and tier 3, the money and time. If you don't have a system set up, it can take a lot of time if you're doing it yourself. So those are the two sides of it, and both are great. It just depends which way you want to go.
Yep, I lost the questions box on my screen. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Do we have? Oh, is it behind this? No. Can you guys see the questions box, or am I just an idiot?
I've got the question box pulled up. If you should be able to. It should be right there on the right-hand side, or if you've minimized it, you may have to click on the little GoToWebinar icon.
Go to View and make sure Questions is checked.
Yeah, no, it is. I've checked it and unchecked it to make it come back. Oh, it went off on the bottom of my second screen. Now I see it. Jesus. Okay, do you guys see the questions coming in? Because I just want to. Here we go. All right. Let's see. So Heather's saying, in this picture, what would the power of each tier optimally be? I'm not sure I understand that question. Do you two understand that question?
I don't.
Yeah, Heather, can you ask that again and maybe in a different way? I'm not sure what you were asking. Yep. Okay, so he's saying, what does Greg do for tier 1 to make it strong? And he buys strong domains. Right.
That's a quick way. So all the work is already done for you. You're buying domains that previously had links built to them that the owner doesn't renew for whatever reason. Maybe the website owner passes away, maybe they change business names, whatever the case, they don't renew it. But all those links are still powering that website, and we just use that power to pass on to our money.
So basically, this is what it is. This tier 1. I know you guys. If this tier 1 is your actual PBN, all the sites you've been buying right now, you're buying sites that already come with tier 2s and 3s. Right, and part of the research is you can see all this. Now this is here if you want to build everything from the ground up, that you definitely can. That puts you in complete control, because when you do, it's unlikely, but when you do buy this tier 1, right, you're buying these domains. These tiers down here, these people can take links down, they can die, those pages can go away, and eventually the links can go away from your tier 1. So that's another reason to do your good research too. To figure out what's going on down here. A lot of people, and I know Derek likes to be in a lot more control and do things that way. And I think, Derek, is that kind of why you like to build these tiers up too? Not just for the link juice and power, but well, you know your links aren't going anywhere, as opposed to buying a site and worry about losing those links.
Well, it's really two reasons. Like, first of all, like kind of what we were talking about in one of the previous ones, where we were talking about getting multiple sites on page 1 or whatever. A lot of these tier 1s will look just very similar to my money site. They look like a money site. If you look at them, they don't look like a private blog network. They don't have like gazillion posts on there, ranging from women's underwear to buying real estate or whatever. It looks like a real official site. It looks like something that you couldn't tell it was part of a blog network. So what I'll do, if it's a market that I know that I'm making money in, so like for those of you that have done the homework and you've used the Hangout to get rankings and you're starting to make some money or whatever, then you can go out and buy some blogs, some domains, set up some blogs on it, and make these to where they're almost like they're their own money site. And these will actually even rank as well. So that way, you're not only powering your money site, but you're also getting some rankings as well, because if you know, but again, that's something that that this market is going to make you money with. So that's kind of the way I'm setting mine up, to where they're more niche specific than just like a general type blog network.
Yeah, so a good question came in. A lot of people on this call are also users of the Hangout Daredevil and that syndication tool. And that tool, creates Tumblr, Blogger posts for you, and WordPress and self-hosted WordPress. So the question is, where does Tumblr and Blogger come in if using Hangout Daredevil? Okay, so they can just, there's two different places. They can be this tier 1. Right, so I can have my Web 2.0 tier over here, and then we have and then on the left it can still be our private blog network of aged domains. Okay, so it can be over here, and then they both can point in. Right, so they're separated this way. Alternatively, you can also have them down here in this second tier. Okay, so that they're pointing into your tier 1 and into your money site. So it's all how you want to set it up. Okay, like I said, Greg focuses on just strong tier 1. Derek focuses on building up these other tiers as well too, and it's all what you make of it. If your Web 2s are strong enough, I would just make them a tier 1. If they have enough page authority and stuff, I would just make them a tier 1 for sure.
I think this is another way of looking at it, and Greg, correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm just kind of going off the cuff here, but you've got a couple of ways of looking at it. You can either buy the tier 1 where that's already got the links, and you're going to spend a little bit more money if you're buying something that's got PageRank and the backlinks that verify that the PageRank and the page authority. Or if you're buying some of these lower cost domains and some cheaper domains where you're buying them for say 15 or 20 bucks, a lot of those are not going to have the quality of backlinks that some of the higher price ones are going to have. And again, price is not the end all be all in determining. I'm just saying that typically, if you're buying a higher PR, a higher page authority, and one that's verified with the backlinks, you're going to spend a little bit more money on it. So you're either going to buy it or you're going to build it one way or another. Is that pretty safe to say?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, what you have set up here, there's certain things you can do with those tiers to, really power it, which is more advanced stuff. But yeah, what you have laid out here can definitely help it. I mean, it's just like you said, which way you want to go and what kind of money you have and what kind of resources you have for those tier 2 and 3. What resources do you use for 2 and 3, Derek?
Say that again now.
What are you doing for 2 and 3? Just so I understand. Are you
doing mainly blog comments and
okay.
running software to those tiers. So
Gotcha.
Just any kind of automation to automate the process, just to build the authority up on those sites.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and guys, I see a lot of our pretty good what's the difference among tiers and et cetera. So I just want to make sure that we're clear here one more time. So everybody that's already started buying domains, right? As we were showing you, you have right now, that's your tier 1. Okay, your tier 1 are those domains. Now there's nothing else that you need to do if you've bought domains with good authority, good domain and page authority, and a little bit of age behind it, and some good trusted links coming into it that already represents this tier down here. You're researching this tier, okay? So just focus on this right here, this top tier 1 to your money site. This is where you're living, okay? The research that you did is sort of what this is representative of, looking at those backlinks, okay? So I don't want anybody on here to start trying to backlinking into their tier 1 yet, okay? I want everybody to just build their tier 1 and see the power in having your own PBN. And then once you start sending in a few links and seeing things moving in search engines, you're going to be like, oh, shit, yeah, this is cool. You know what I mean? So does that sort of clear up for a lot of people the tiers, okay? The PBN, your private blog network, is your tier 1, right? Does that make sense? Is that cool? Yep. And then once you get, okay, remember, you gotta walk, freaking crawl. Once you get your PBN going, you figure this stuff out, and you're making some money, And then if you want to start messing around and doing some of the freaky things that Derek does, and running some software and other comments and different type of things, quote unquote, literally, spam basically into other tiers, and doing that, that's something you should look at maybe way down the road when you're actually making money from SEO. Okay, we'll say that. Yep, clear. Thanks. Perfect. Think you get it. Carol thinks she gets it. Doesn't make me feel good. Heather gets it. Yep. Yes. Yep. Perfect. Did you guys see any questions coming in you want to address? I'm just trying to, like, a lot of questions are actually coming in here. So,
Here's a good question. This is how do you use the anchor text with the tier 2 and 3? Basically, what I'm doing a lot of generics for me. I'm doing a lot of generics. I'm doing a lot of brands and doing a lot of naked URLs. So, and I'll use some names in there too. So,
and I agree with that. I think those aren't that important for the anchor text. So that is a good way to go. I agree with that one.
So it looks like let's go ahead and move into linking out. Okay, so everybody understands that, and let me just do this. Let me give you the visual. Let me hold on. Grab it here. And then you guys, why wouldn't we grab this? You guys are living right here. This is where you're living right now. Do we all understand that? You guys are on the tier 1. Okay? Right now, if you're using the Hangout Daredevil, the Web 2s, and the WordPress sites created, everything, that's your tier 1. All these things you're buying, that's your tier 1. Okay? So now, Greg, would you like me to hand you this screen? Because I know you do pretty good when you talk about anchor text and different things like that. And I sort of want to talk about how we link out, because it's important, guys, for you to understand that you don't want to buy a domain, put it in your PBN, and then have like all the links going to one place. You're going to get caught, right? Like it doesn't look right. It doesn't look natural. Greg, would you like to? I know you sort of go through that pretty well.
Yeah, I can cover anchor text.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's talk about linking out, and I'm gonna give you the screen real quick. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Make presenter. Yes, we'll go over backlink research too near the end of this a little bit. But let's talk about linking out, because a lot of people on here actually already started actually did the homework and they started buying stuff. So see, you're no longer a presenter. Perfect. Everybody see Greg's screen, Untitled Notepad. Do we got Greg on the monitor, guys? No, you don't need to hang out Daredevil for this to work at all. No. Don't get confused. Perfect.
All right, I think the best place to start is over optimization, and kind of explain to everyone how I found out about this over optimization about 9 months ago. And that way you can kind of see the importance of anchor text, and because it really matters what your domain name is, what keywords you have in it, and then we can go over the difference between using anchor text for branded domains and also EMD type domains. So I had a client, let's say we got health, let's say we got weightlosstips.com. All right. So I had a client, and he was a national client. I had a good couple hundred sites for him. Whenever I do SEO, I split it up where I test with different ways of doing things. So with this particular client, he had the EMDs for each keyword, and then he wanted it to rank in each state. So for this particular domain, he would want it to rank for weight loss tips in Alabama, weight loss tips in Arizona weight loss tips, that type of thing. So I would do half of them like this, loss tips in Arizona. I would do this for every single state. Okay, so I would have 50 pages, one for each state. And the other half of the domains or so I did like this, where I just did Alabama. Okay, where an update came about 9 months to a year ago, where all my sites like this fell off the map, totally gone. Okay, I built the same types of links, same anchor text percentages, all of that, except these ones all stayed the same, or they even got a little better. All right. So when I looked into it, what I found was when you have a keyword in a domain, it can really contribute to over optimization. All right, and also the inner URLs add up as well. So what they're doing is, it seems like they're adding the domain name is the biggest player for on page, and then how many times you have these keywords on the inner pages, and I kept repeating on every single page, and then it also combines with your anchor text. All right, that's why all these stakes I didn't keep repeating on inner pages. So that factor helped even it out, and I was okay, and I passed over optimization. The other thing I'm noticing is the more keywords you have in your domain, the less you can get away with it. Okay, so if you got weight loss tips for women over 40, then you are really skating on thin ice here, where if you use this at all in the beginning, you have a good chance of being hit, okay? Whereas if you just have weightloss.com, you can get away with a lot more here with just 2 words than you can with like 8 words, all right? So let's go over some anchor text, the way I build it for an EMD and then also like a branded type domain. One example that I use is this site we've done, Nashville SEO. I've done a lot of EMDs. We're right here at number 1. And I'm going to show you the exact anchor text I use for this. And this is how I do most of my EMDs now. So we got NashvilleSEO.org. Keep in mind this is a 2-word domain, so I could have got away with more than I did, but I always like to play it safe. So this is how I kind of started this site. I did Nashville.
Greg, let me jump in here real quick, Greg. 1 second. EMD stands for exact match domain, right? It's not the same as EDM, which is a rave. Okay, Bernard. It's the keyword is in the domain, right? Okay, guys. So anybody that was confused, sorry. All right, sorry, guys. I just want to make sure. I saw one confused person when you said.
No problem.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, and partial EMD would be like if your keyword was like weight loss tips and you have weight loss tips for women over 40, that's a partial EMD because you got you got your keyword in there, then other words. That'd be a partial EMD, and there's different rules for that as well. But I'm going to cover EMD and branded. So whenever I got an EMD, again, this is 2 keywords, so I could have got away with more probably. I could have been more aggressive, but I like to always play it safe. So here's what I do. And this is pretty much the exact anchor text I use or very close to it. All right, so I did something like this to start. Notice I got one of the words in the anchor text. I got another word, and then I got a synonym for the second word in the domain. Okay, and then I have another word after it. All right, so I'm starting kind of far away, and I'm going to move closer towards it. So next time I might do something like Nashville TN SEO services, or let's say firms this time, or use services. All right, so now I'm a little closer. I got both keywords in there, Nashville and SEO, but I also have 2 other words with it. Okay, and I always like wait a week when I'm first starting, and I see what kind of movement it does. I did this for the site, and I saw it moved up into the first 10 pages. I did this one, wait a week, probably moved up to page 5 or so. All right, so now I can start going a little closer. Now I can do something like Nashville, Tennessee SEO companies. All right, well, that's about the same right there, right? So I did something like that where it's the same thing again. All right, nice movement, maybe it moved to page 4 or 3. Now I'm going to get a little more aggressive. Nashville SEO agency, all right? Because now I got both keywords in there, but I only have 1 word after it, okay? And I have them one after the other. So this does a little more for me than this was. But this is still helping me because it's my EMD and the 2 keywords are still in there, all right? So now I did this one. I probably moved to about top of page 2, bottom of page 2, something like that. I did another one like that. I did Nashville.
And while you type that out real quick, does everybody understand what he's talking about right now when he's saying anchor text out? Like, I just want to make sure I'm not losing anybody because, Greg and I, we talk SEO all the time, all day, and the acronyms, and I don't want anybody left behind here. So does everybody understand what he's talking about when he's saying anchor text? Just let me make sure. If you're confused, say it now so I just want to make sure nobody is. Yep, okay, yep, got it. Please clarify. Okay, anchor text is on your domain. It is the clickable link out to your site, right? So when you're on a website and then it says like a word and you click on it and it goes to another site, that is anchored. That is anchored text. The anchored text is what tells Google the relevancy of the site, right? It's like a vote to that site saying, so when Greg's doing all these anchored texts, it's relevant to what he's trying to rank. Okay, so I hope that clears that up for the 2 or 3 people that were confused. Okay, does that make sense, right? These are coming off of your PBN. This is what you're trying to tell Google that this is relevant to this word, and you're linking to it, and that's what you want to rank it for, right? Okay, perfect. Sweet.
And if we just go look at, let's go to like a bodybuilding Wikipedia page. These are all anchor text. Like that's anchor text. This is a link going to, it's another page of Wikipedia, but that's still anchor text, all right? So basically we're buying these domains that Derek and Ryan are talking about. We're buying them at auction. We're setting up a website, just getting hosting, setting up WordPress, putting up an article, and then linking back to our money site, which in this case would be Nashville SEO, because it transfers that power over. And when I link to it, these are the anchor texts that I'm using in this order.
Yep.
All right.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
So now after this one, I believe I was like bottom of page 2, top of page 1, so I was really close to. I think I was top of page 1 after this one. I waited another week or so, another week or two, and then I hit Nashville SEO. Okay. Then because right in here I already got 5 keywords in there that are different. But they all got some type of version of this in there, so it's helping me rank for it. But I'm staying away from over optimization. All right, and then I kind of move closer and closer and closer towards it, and I'm safe to hit it right here. By this time, we were number 1. All right. Now, kind of give a different example. If it was gregsite.com, so a branded site, and I was trying to rank for Nashville SEO for this site right here, what I would do is the exact opposite. Nashville SEO right away. And the reason I can do that is because the keyword's not in the domain, so that flag's not there, so to speak. Like that, basically when they see these EMDs, they already have a red flag up for this keyword. So if it starts getting overused, whether it's inner URLs or anchor text or whatever the case is, they're going to flag you a lot easier, okay? If your keywords aren't in the domain, you can get away with a lot more. So I can start with Nashville SEO right away, and then I would work my way up. I would do the exact opposite. And then I would actually end up coming around again and hitting this again later on. So if we have, let's do how I would build an anchor text for an inner page. And let's say we got gregsite.com. Let's say we're trying to rank for weight loss tips. Okay. Whenever I'm building a page, I always group it where I know which keywords I'm going to rank for. All right. So for this, it would be all my keywords about. Is anyone getting lost here, Ryan? Before I go into this, just want to make sure
there's there's questions coming in, but I want you to keep going for everyone who's still following you, and then we'll get to it, and then after we sort of go, and then I'll talk a little bit, Derek will wrap, and then we'll move into actually researching to get the sites to go into to their PBN too.
Okay.
We're getting those. Yeah, keep going, guys. If you have questions, look, we're unemployable. Okay, we got nowhere to go, or I don't anyways. I'll be on as long as it needs. Just put them in the box, write them down, and Greg, keep going, do it. You're doing perfect.
All right, cool. So let's say I got a page on weight loss tips, right? Whenever I set up my sites, I always have a plan ahead of time. So, this page is going to have a particular set of keywords that I'm going to target, and it's going to be about weight loss tips or anything very similar. So I'll go and do my research. Of course, we'll be going after weight loss tips because that's the main keyword. Weight reduction tips, weight loss advice, because advice is a synonym of tips. So basically what I do is I interchange synonyms for like weight loss or tips, all right? Or I'll reverse them, okay? So I could do tips for weight loss, tips for weight reduction, advice for weight loss. All right, and these would actually be my anchor text. And what I do here is I'm giving myself credit for everything when I do this, okay? Because the way Google works is they kind of see this, they'll see this, and they'll give the most credit. They'll rank you you'll see the most movement most of the time for the keyword weight loss tips, okay? But it'll also help you rank for this because it's a synonym. It'll also help you rank for this. It will also help you rank for this, because these are all somewhat close, okay? So what we do when we do this is we're expanding our anchor text, and at the same time we're helping ourselves rank for this whole list of keywords. So that's why I group my keywords into very similar keywords, and I'll go through each one, just use each one once, and then when I run out, maybe I'll do something like best weight loss tips, all right? Because that's a good keyword as well. And then if I really do run out, I'll go back and just hit weight loss tips again, after 10, 20 keywords, whatever the case is. Because by that time, if we use 20 different keywords, we're giving ourselves credit for that whole grouping of keywords. And we also, if we use it again, the anchor text percentage only goes up to, 5 to 10%, whatever that would be, 2 out of 20, 10%. All right? Does everyone understand what I'm doing with my anchor text there and how I use it?
And also want to highly first of all, is everybody understanding this so far? Is everybody digging, tracking, following along? And don't worry if you feel completely lost. We understand SEO can be overwhelming at first. I'm telling you. So, and just record it. You're able to go back and stuff. So Holly brings up a good point, and let's talk about this. So Holly said, well, I assume you do something different for YouTube links, right? And and this is what I do personally. When it comes to YouTube links or Hangout links, we don't use a lot of our PBN on them unless we have to. We can usually get away with some of the different types of softwares and spam, comment spam, and different things like that, and rank pretty well. But if that doesn't work, then we'll come in with our PBN. Actually, you know what, Greg? We have a really good example of that. See, do business cash advances. Type that in. It's like advance or advances. Yeah. See, okay. So Greg and I actually tag teamed this video. Okay, we're number 2. That's our little video down there, number 2 for that word. Now, when we did this, I originally did a whole bunch of spammy stuff to it and basically just tried to break it. And then it disappeared. And Greg, I don't know if you remember, it came back to what, like page 2 or something like.
Top of page 3, I believe it was on.
Okay,
mid page 3.
Yeah, so it came to like the mid of page 3, right? It disappeared from the search engines. It was gone forever. It came back, right? Okay, and actually, Greg, you know what? I actually have the links, the backlinks. I think that the anchor text, because I asked you for it a while ago in Facebook PM. Let me see real quick, guys. But Greg and I, so basically we did a whole bunch of spammy stuff. It was like the middle of page 3. There's just too much competition. We had to put it over the top. And then I know Greg came in with a link sequence. And let me see if I can find our messages, because it'd be pretty beneficial to the group. I'm glad I thought about this, actually. Shit.
And with YouTube, you can get away with more anchor text percentage because it's a higher domain authority.
Yep.
Just so people know.
I'm going to, I'm looking back through it. Oh, here it is right here. So, oh, this is perfect. Copy. How do you want me to get this over so you can pull up on your screen? Actually, I think I can get it to you in the chat and you can throw in that text. Hold on, let's see here. I got the exact days. Okay, guys, so, okay, let me paint the picture, and I'm going to get this to Greg, and he can pull this up, and we'll walk you through this linking process that we did here. All right. Can you see? I sent it to you over in the chat, Greg. You can grab it and just slap it into the the old text file you got there, all that. Okay, guys. So what Greg was talking about before, you need to be very careful with how you're linking to other URLs that are other just domains, money sites, your client sites. You don't want to just spam them with 50,000 comment links, right? Okay, but with YouTube videos, you can be a little bit more spammier with it. Now, again, I spammed the hell out of it, and then Greg came in, and these are the exact. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is that? About 20-something, 20 links or so. He came in with 20 links. You see the sequence, the drip campaign. The drip campaign. Oh, he took it away.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all good. Do your thing.
Here's the drip can. This is from the network sites. I just want to show them what anchor text you use for the spam stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So you sent about 300 links of spam to it, because my links won't show up because I'm blocking them. So let's go see your anchor. Okay, so you changed it up a good bit here.
Yeah.
This type of anchor text you use for the spam.
Yeah. This is what anchor text. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that actually allowed me to get a little more aggressive right here. You know, that's the cool thing about spamming a video first, is then it allows you to kind of hit the money keywords head on. You know, I mean, I still switched it up a little bit, but I could hit them head on.
Yeah, the easiest way, guys, to spam a YouTube link is to go to Fiverr and find a good SE nuke provider or Magic Submitter or GSA. Like you can usually find decent. One of your fellow members actually provides a service too, and she sells and will give you lots and lots of good spam for you too as well. So, but So this is a good thing. So you can see how Greg was able to not really switch up the anchor text so much here for this YouTube video, right? This YouTube link. But if we did that for a money page, we probably would get in trouble. Like this probably wouldn't work out if we did it to like a website page, right? So guys, does that make sense, or did we lose anybody else again? I want to differentiate between Hangouts or YouTube videos and regular websites when linking into them, right?
Yeah, and yeah, all these links you see on the notepad were from my PBN. All the links you see in HRES were spam.
Yep. Yep. And that was the spam you see in HRFs, that was a Fiverr gig. I ordered like an SE nuke and some blog commentings. I would order kind of stuff, and just, that's what actually got found in indexes, what showed up. And you can actually see some of the stuff was in other languages and stuff down there on the bottom of the screen.
You can be really aggressive with YouTube. I mean, really aggressive. I'm doing some like crazy stuff right now, and you can be super aggressive with YouTube, and it'll rank. So, and like what Greg was saying, was with the spam, it got a good base set of links, so that way you're not worried about, even though you can be aggressive with it, you still have to watch the anchor text. And so that's really important that you guys watch that, even though you can be more aggressive with it, you still have to, monitor the anchor text and be sure you're not over optimizing for that.
Yeah, Jay, no, that's perfect, and I knew that going in too. That's one thing. I actually was writing some content last night for SEO stuff, but especially in this day and age, the anchor text is huge, definitely, and I knew that. I've always done it that way since forever, so it's just natural for me to make sure we had a whole bunch of different anchor texts. Let's see.
Holly cracks me up. Did you read this?
I missed what she say. I missed it.
She just kills me just because she's super aggressive with the YouTube stuff too.
So. Oh no, yeah, she's crazy. She's like, I make like 50,000 links a second.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let me do this. Let's disclaim. Yes, you can spam YouTube links in your Hangout videos, and yes, you will probably be able to rank them. But if it doesn't rank, don't come yell at me because I told you to spam something. Don't spam your actual, money pages that would be your client site or whatever, your affiliate page that you're trying to make money from. Don't spam those. Okay. Yes, the Web 2.0s are okay to spam. Anything with a high authority on the top level of the domain, yes. Okay, so let's do this. How does everybody feel? Everybody have a better understanding? Are you understanding the difference between anchor text or anchor text, when, how to vary that so it looks natural, right? And then also where to send your PBN links to and where to send spam links to. Okay. Yes, you can start spamming YouTube video if you want. We do it all the time. Let's see. Yeah, we're basically alluding to LSI. So right here in this image, there are no LSI keywords. It's all business cash advances or merchant cash advances, right? If you scroll up a little bit, Greg, did you put any LSI keywords in the top? I don't remember your example up.
Up here?
Yeah. No, not really, huh? Nothing. Well, weight loss. You guys see the difference? LSI just means think of it as like a synonym. Think of it as close to whatever you want it to be, but not. It's like latent semantic indexing or something silly like that. But LSI just means like if you're trying to rank for how to train a cat, maybe you have a link about a different type of animal going somewhere else. It's similar, but it's not about the actual cat, right? So, let's see. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Did you guys see any questions you want to address right now? Because there's a lot of them. If there's anything that's pertinent to right now, I wanted to make sure you get it. Let's see.
One thing I'm going to show real quick, Ryan, if you'll throw over the screen.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is something that Greg touched on, and this is just a tool that's free that you can use. It's called Text Mechanic. This is something that you can use to do all kinds of text manipulation. And basically, if you're doing like, let's say, what was the example? Cash.
Yeah, just like the business cash advance is like business cash advance is like the core type work because it's a business looking for a cash advance. So it's not
Okay.
like a yeah.
So like you can just put in your keywords right here, your base set of keywords, and then you can add a prefix. So like let's just say you're trying to target for a specific city. You just type in Nashville, for example, and then click merge text lines, and it's going to merge that with these keywords. And then you can even go as far as adding a suffix on the end too, if that's something that you would like to do as well. So this gives you a good variation of your keywords. So like if you wanted to do like best, then you can do merge text lines, and then let's say you wanted to do Nashville at the end. You can see how that will work if you had like several keywords in there. Just give it some good a good variety of links. This is especially helpful for like doing the aggressive backlinking to the YouTube videos.
Oh no, that's awesome. I'm glad you. I've never seen this before. I saw like a couple people like, oh, I'm bookmarking this one. I dropped it in the chat. I think I got it right. Text Mechanic. Danny asked a question, and this is a good question. He says, "Yo, are all those anchor texts that Greg was talking about coming from the same page on his PBN, right?" So, Greg, do you want to answer that question? Because I didn't do those anchor texts. I didn't do that ranking. Yeah.
Yeah, all those anchor texts you see are coming from different private network sites.
Yep.
So each anchor text you saw would come from a different website that I bought at auction.
Yep. So, and one practice that I know we like to do, I'm not sure what they do, but if we like say we write a post to link out to something, and say we're trying to link about baseball cards or something, right? And the post is around sports or baseball. We'll always make sure that for the link out to the money site, we also have a link out to an authority site, which is just and so the easiest way to find an authority site to link to in your market, Derek, just go to Google and type in baseball, like just type in the word baseball in Google. So you just type in like one word in your market. Pretty much whatever's at the top is going to be an authority site or in the first few things. So like MLB.com, I can't see what the page rank is, but that's going to be considered an authority site. So if I'm trying to link to rank in something about baseball and I want to link out to authority site, I can easily just do this. I can swipe that Wikipedia or the MLB.com or the ESPN and make sure that we have a link out. And we make sure that we do that because it looks natural. Because at the end of the day, what does Google want, guys? It wants to serve the most relevant content, and then we're telling Google it's relevant by gaming with our anchor text, right? But then at the same time, we have to say, oh no, we want your traffic to get relevant stuff. Here's a link out to an authoritative site over here that you already trust. So it sort of helps Google trust us a little bit more, right? I'm not sure, Greg, what you do linking out to authority sites, or Derek, I don't know if you have a different spin, but for us, almost every time we link to a money page, we almost always have an authority link somewhere in the content in that post as well.
Yeah, I do it most of the time. I look at it the same way. If you're linking out to an authority site, they kind of group your site with that site. So.
Yep. Okay. So, Derek, since you have the screen, let's just do this. I want to. Let's go back to and cover. How many people need to see like a domain researched and looking at the backlinks and stuff? I think we briefly went over it on actually the free call, so maybe we should go over a little bit more. Just let me know in here if you guys need to see that, and we'll run through that definitely, right? So, because a lot of people started already buying their domains, and I saw a lot of questions coming in the group over last week. So, Derek, you want to sort of go over that process again that you run through? And we all have a very similar process, so it's yep.
Let me give me just a second. I froze my screen, so let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, get all your stuff ready that you need. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna look at some of the questions again and make sure we mark them, make sure they're addressing some of the things. So I gotta scroll up here. Let's see.
All right, so you guys ready?
Yeah, no, they're ready, dude. They are ready.
Cool. All right, so again, like me and Ryan said before, there's more than one way to skin a cat on this thing. So um, we all probably do this a slightly different. I'll just kind of go through the way that I look at sites. First of all, I like to look and see if there's any sites that've got PR, and I want to investigate those a little closer. So what I'll do is I'll go over here where it says auction domains, and then I want to go to Google PageRank auctions, which is this section right here. And by the way, we're looking at Register Compass right now. It's a monthly fee, I think is it $37? Is that right? 39 bucks. Okay, so you can do the same, most of the same stuff with expireddomains.net. If you're on a limited budget or you want to just save some coin, then you can use it as well. So when I first come in here, the first thing that I want to do is I want to manipulate some of these tabs. So the first thing that I want to do is this auction right here. I want to set this to where it's not an offer. So I'll just go is not, and then I select offer, and I click add and apply, because I don't want there to be any of the offers where you're making an offer on a domain. I want the ones that are auctions as well as pre-releases, and so that'll get rid of those. The next thing that I do is the auction expire. I want this to be within like 24 to 48 hours. So I'll just set this to 24 or 48 hours, one of the two, depending on what my schedule's like. And then I'll click add and apply. And then I want to go over here and I'll have to scroll over. I want to be sure that the sites are indexed in Google. So I'll just go over here where it says Google Index, and I'll be sure that it's one or more. Click add and apply, and so that's got the base set for us of what we're looking for. So then what I'll also do is I'll go and I'll want to filter out the domain age. I want to look at anything that's 3 years or older. So I'll do 2011, and that's just my personal preference. I want stuff that's anywhere 3 years or older. So then we've got all these set up the way, and you'll see that this is like really knocked down the amount of domains we had to research. We initially we had like thousands, and now it's knocked it down to where we're only looking at 18, which is a lot more manageable. So what we want to do here from this point is we want to look at the Moz Domain Authority. This is going to give us a little bit more of an updated number. The PR is not updated regularly. It was only updated twice last year. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to look at this Moz Domain Authority score that they're given, because it's updated a lot more frequently. So I'm going to hit this down button, and I just want to sort this to where the Moz Domain Authority's number is at its highest, and then inspect it versus the PageRank. So you can just go through here, and what I want to do is looking at these that have PR. I want to make sure that the backlinks are going to justify the PR. So you'll see some of these. There's going to be it may be a lot higher price, but in a lot of those cases, again, it's got PR, it's got authority backlinks already built to it. It's sites that we really don't have to SEO ourselves. It's sites that already have the backlinks have already got authority built into it. So this is what I do initially. I'll just look at these, and the way I investigate these are through Ahrefs. So we'll go through here and just kind of give you an idea. GoDaddy, this is going to be a public auction right here, as you can see, public, and this is a pre-release. So you'll see pre-releases are coming from Namejet as well as Snap, and the way that these work is you go in and you'll see that the bid price is $69. You'll go in here and you'll do an initial bid. Like, let's say this is something that you wanted to go after. You'll do initial bid of $69. If nobody bids on that, then you get that domain for $69. If somebody else bids on it, then you are in a private bidding pool with all the other bidders that will go on for, I believe it's 3 days. And at that point, whoever is the highest bidder wins the auction. So, we got any questions so far?
Let's see. Nothing really. I think everybody's just listening. I haven't really seen anything come in about this just yet. So let's see how. Yeah, I think people are more interested in how I think everybody gets this part. I think people are more interested there. Let's talk about the researching of the backlinks and what we're looking at on those other tiers we were showing them that are already in place. So if you want to,
Okay.
yeah, jump over there.
So
Yeah.
so what I'll do is I'll just go through here and I'll grab this one and I'll let's into genome whatever .org. We'll look at this and we'll just paste this in right here and we'll click search links. And you can also do this in Majestic and also you can do it in Open Site Explorer. There's lots of tools that's out there. I just happen to like this one better than the other ones that's on the market. So you'll see this has got 152 backlinks. One of the things that I want to do before we get too far into it is I would want to make sure this is that this page rank is valid. So what you want to do, you can go to checkpagerank.net, I believe it is. If you just Google that, check PageRank, and you would just go in here. I've never seen this one. This is a new looking site. Click verify now, and you'll see that this is showing that this is verified. Okay. If you wanted to manually do this, sometimes it'll show up. It'll say this needs to be verified manually. This is the code that you put in. You just do site : and then you paste that domain, and then you'll see it right here. And if this pops up, if you see this domain pop up or several pages of this domain pop up, then this is a valid one. But if you see a different domain than what you typed in here, then that's going to be an invalid PageRank. It's being masked or forwarded or something. So you want to stay away from those. So what we do is we go in here to okay, so we're looking at these 152. We'll see 152 backlinks. What we want to do is we just want to investigate these a little closer. And you'll see right here, right off the bat, there's some EDU links, University of Oklahoma Advanced Center for Technology. This is something that, these are backlinks that we couldn't build otherwise, more than likely. So you see a Wikipedia link. These are some really high quality backlinks that you can see, because these are links that, like I said, you just can't go out and do SEO and post an article or whatever and get like a Wikipedia link or from some of these EDU sites that you see right here. So then what I would do is I would go through here and I would want to look at these. If this is something that I'm going to be spending, where I'm going to be bidding on this one and spending, say $100, $200 or $300, whatever. I want to look at these. I want to make sure the page rank on these pages right here, I want to make sure that they justify that the page rank that the site actually has. Does that make sense?
Let's hold on. Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Is this the way? Let's see. EDU.
Matano brings up a really good question. He says, "Are EDU links still really good in the eyes of Google?" I personally don't see a difference in EDU or .gov per se, except for the fact that these are links that you just can't go out and get on your own. These are in this case, these are like really high quality backlinks. Greg, have you seen any difference in like EDU and .gov links at all? Like,
yeah, I mean, I notice a lot of times they come from higher domain authority sites. The main domain will have high domain authority, so I mean that in itself will help you. But then EDU and Gov links in general, like you said, you can't really get them. I mean, you can get spammy ones, but I mean that's what I look for my tier 1, because again, that's the type of stuff you can't get with SEO. So that's what I'm looking for my tier 1.
So this would be something that you would seriously consider buying, provided the price was right.
Oh yeah, that'll power you nicely, absolutely.
Cool.
Yep. It's got a winner there. Let's see. Okay, so
someone asked what a spammy EDU was. There's some EDUs that allow you to like create profiles and like make pages, and Google gets wind of that, just like eZine articles. Like everyone used to do eZine articles. When there's like a central site that a lot of people are getting links from, they'll start discrediting it. So that's what I mean by spammy. Sorry, Ron.
No, that's fine. I'm trying to monitor chat box. You're perfectly fine, dude. Let's see. How long is back? It's in effect. Well, see, that's another thing, Bernard. So, and that's the question is like, how long can you plan on those backlinks staying in effect? And that's what a part you do research. Like, if the backlink is from like, if the site's from 2001 and the backlink's from like 97, and we're in 2014, I don't think that backlink's going anywhere, right? It's been there for 17 years. But you can't. Don't worry about things you can't control because you can't control if those links come down. You'll know very soon when the updates come up, the PR updates come out if you've lost a lot of links and lost PR. But I wouldn't make that stop you from buying a domain like, oh, well, this is a great link coming into this domain, but it may disappear. I'm not buying it. No, don't look at it like that. Let's see.
You can always go back in and then like you can when we were talking about the multiple tiers, like you've got that, you know, in that diagram where you got the second and third tier. That's where you can add links to this property as later on. If you've got, you know, if say a backlink drops off, you can always go back in and add more backlinks to it if that's something that you're wanting to do or that you need to do. I'm currently trying to do that on some of my older sites because it's like what you're talking about. Some of these sites I have are, you know, 10 years, 5 years old, and you know, I'm now going back in and trying to boost the page authority on those because some of the old backlinks that I built or some of the old backlinks that were there whenever I bought the domains actually have fallen off. So that's something that, you know, you can go back in and add more later on.
Yes. So here's a question. It says, "Hi guys, how about a PR of 0 from 1999 with top news from CNN PR3 link and back at the same time period? How much is it up for? You know, I mean, that sounds like I wouldn't mind having that site on my network. I'm not going to pay hundreds of dollars for it, but I'd pay 20, 30 bucks for that site probably from 1999 and getting a link from CNN. You know, it's pretty trusted. It's a pretty trusted site, right? $39, I'd buy it. That's me. Everybody. See, there's another thing too. You have to remember, like the way that your business runs, the way that Greg's business runs, the way that Derek's business runs. You know, we all do things slightly different. Especially when it comes to like, I may be comfortable buying a site at, you know, $75, where Greg's threshold is like, I'm done at 50. It's not worth it. You see what I'm saying? So the only way to really answer those questions, or the only way for you really find out, is to start buying them, and so you have to learn along the way. Again, there's zero replacement for experience. Like us three can sit here and talk, you know, SEO all day, but if you're not doing it, you know, and just asking questions perpetually, like you know, nothing's getting done, right? So you sort of have to find your own ceilings. I actually I have a template for my guys that go out and buy our domains. And I said, listen, if it's under these qualifications, go up to this amount. If it's under these qualifications, go up to this amount. If it's under these, go up to this amount. And that's something that I learned over, you know, doing this for years. It wasn't something that I was just able to come up with the first time I started, you know, buying domains, right? Let's see. I mean, what would you guys do? Like, I'd buy that PR0 from 99 with a link in from CNN. PR3, I'd buy it for 39 bucks. I don't know, Derek, Greg, would you guys buy that?
Yeah, it depends what other links it had, probably. I mean, I'm at the point where I only get super high quality just because I have so many freaking sites.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just depends, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, it'd be something I'd have to look at, but yeah, probably. I mean, it wouldn't be something I would be opposed to. And that was something we talked about in the group too. That come up. You know, people were going to buy, you know, different things based on what they have. I know Holly was in the group. She was talking about, you know, she was able to buy, you know, some of these domains, but she's got a system in place where she's able to, you know, throw a lot of links at some of these and get the authority of the sites boosted up. So. You know, again, it depends on, you know, what your strategy is when it comes to that. Where Greg is just looking at, you know, can I buy the links already in place, you know?
Let's see, PC CNN. Can you have my template? As a possibility, but this is what I don't. This is okay, guys. So especially ones that know me long enough, I try to give you as little done for you shit as I can, because if I do everything for you, then I'm harming you. I am hurting you by handing you things on a silver platter because you're not doing it. You're not learning. You're not becoming experienced in it. Okay, it's just always being handed to you. It's like the the kid that grows up with a billionaire and he's got the silver spoon in his mouth his whole life, and he grows up now he needs to get a job and nobody can hire him because he doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to do anything, right? Everything was just handed to him. Okay, so will I give you the template? Maybe, but I think if I give you my template, I'm going to take some stuff out of it and trim it down. But it'll give you a guideline. But I don't want you to use it as the gospel, okay? Because I will spend more money than most people on some sites if I want them, just because when I see something I want, I take it, right? So the way that I look at things will be different for my business than your business, okay? So I just want to make sure we're clear about that. But I'll look at that template for you guys later and track it down and see if I can make it so that it's presentable to you guys and it won't harm you by giving you too much stuff to look at. Let's see.
Real quick, Ryan, I just so everybody is aware right here, like I don't just stop here on this PR4. What I'll do is at this point, you can filter out these because we got a lot of questions coming in about about what to buy and all that stuff. So you can go in and filter out the ones that are less than PR4. And then it's going to pull up some of the lower links. So if you want to just look at those that are under PR4, then what you can do is you can try to find a sweet spot, so to speak, I guess you could call it, is by the age, the Moz authority, and the PR. You might get something that has a less page rank now, but has a really high Moz authority. What you would want to do is go in and investigate those links and see where they're coming from, just like we did in this previous example. And you may get something that's kind of under the radar. In other words, everybody else is looking at sites that have PR4 or greater. You can come in and a lot of times you can find sites that have 0 PR or PR1 or PR2 that you can pick up for a song and a dance, and it'd be really undervalued, and it'd be just as, I would say, just as valuable as what a PR4 or PR5 would be based on the backlinks that it has.
No, I agree. Let's see. I'm looking at some of the questions. Hold on, answer this one.
And one of the things too, like I saw this question earlier, is we can these sites do not have to be specific to a particular niche. So I think it's safe to say that we all three are buying sites that have nothing related to do with the niches that we're in and the markets that we're in. We're basically buying them and then we're turning around and retheming the sites to be whatever it is that we're targeting.
Let's okay, so all right, we've in the last 68 minutes we've just jammed a lot of stuff at you guys, okay? Now, who's at least feeling like they've retained something and learned something so far? Okay, let's just make sure that people, I want to make sure we haven't completely lost someone just sitting there going like, "What the hell are they speaking Russian on here?" Right? Okay, so let me pull up this. I'm gonna run out these questions that really that Antano put up in a group, and let me look at these real quick. And I think let's just end on going. There's 12 of them. We might have answered some of them. But there are important ones in here that we need to go over. So one of the questions was, do you have a favorite SEO hosting company to start for PBNs? I don't have a favorite one that I call a favorite one, but we have several. Do you guys have a favorite one that you use for SEO hosting lately? Sometimes they're shady. It's hard to find good ones. Yeah, you guys want to name drop anything you're using? I can't think off the top of my head.
I really like I like Qzx900. You gotta know what to do with them. You gotta use the different locations they have when you set up you gotta do a reseller account and use different locations. I see Derek uses them on his screen. And make sure you don't get the same IP. If you do, just delete the account and just redo the domain on there. And another favorite of mine is ASEOhosting.com. They're really reliable, and you can mix in dedicated IPs with them. So those are two.
Will you drop that domain into the chat to everybody, just in case, Greg, everybody didn't So, Derek, are you going to sort of show something in here, or you were just showing the account?
Yeah, a lot of I use Host9 for the most part. I use also Skynet hosting, and I've got a couple of other ones that I use. But this is probably one of my favorite ones to recommend for people just starting out with doing a blog network. So basically, what you do is whenever you go to set this thing up, I wanted to kind of you think it's would be beneficial now to kind of talk about how we're setting this up to where we don't leave a footprint.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to transition to. That's the next big question is how do we set all this up, guys, and not leave a footprint? Because if you set all this up and you have you leave a huge footprint, there you could get in some big trouble. Okay. Yes, cover footprints. Okay. So
right.
Perfect.
So the first thing that I do is regardless of where I'm buying it, if I'm buying it through GoDaddy, then what I'll want to do is I'll use this right here. It's called a fake name generator. If I'm buying it through anywhere else, what I want to do is immediately, personally, I'll transfer it to Namecheap and then use the private registration if it's through Namejet or Snap Names or anything like that, because a lot of those companies, you're not buying through Namejet or Snap Names. You're actually buying through another registrar. So like one of them is like Network Solutions, right? Some of these companies, when you buy the domains and they come up for renewal, they're like charging like $40 and $50 for a 1-year renewal. So immediately whenever I get the domain, what I want to do is I want to transfer it over to either Namecheap or my GoDaddy account. If it's in GoDaddy, then I'm going to use this as what's called a fake name generator. So even though I've got 1 or 2 central GoDaddy accounts, all the contact information on the registration and the whois contact will be faked. So I use this fake name generator. What I'll do is initially I'll set up because now in GoDaddy there's something new that you've got to actually you've got to verify the emails and all that stuff, right? So I'll set up an email address, and and usually it's with the domain that I've bought, and I'll just forward it to my my regular email. What I'll do is I'll go in here to this fake name generator and just generate a random name, and this is going to be actually what I use for my contact info. So all the domains are either going to have a different name, a different street address, phone number, and or they're all going to be either that or they're going to be in private registration. So this is the first footprint to overcome. Any questions on that, or do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
No, it's just keep going. That's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
The first footprint's a name, and here's a resource to create a fake one.
Yep. So fake name generator, it's free. You just go in, again, just click generate, you're good to go. All right, second thing that we want to do is we want to create a custom name server. All right, and I know that sounds like a mouthful, but whenever you get your registration through Host9, they're going to give you 3 IP addresses. It's going to be like ns1.speedy.net or whatever, right? That's going to be the name servers. Well, they're also going to give you the IP addresses for those name servers. So what you want to do is for each one of your domains, you want to create a custom name server. And if you're going to GoDaddy, there's tutorials on how to do it and on YouTube and all that, right? So you just go in there, you just create a custom name server, and you will point it to that IP address. And so then what you want to do is once you get that done, you want to come in here to Host9 to create your account. You'll want to add your domain, your username, contact. This is all pretty self-explanatory. But this is where you want to really pay a lot of attention to. On this location with Host9, you can actually select a location for your site to be hosted. So they've got U.S. Central, UK, they got the U.S. West, East, Singapore, and Amsterdam. So what I'm doing for me is I'm going in and I'm the first site that's part of my network. I'll go in and I'll host it on U.S. Central, right? So that's going to have that's going to be like my first IP, right? The second site, I'll go in here and I'll host it on Berkshire, right? Third site, I'll come in here and host it on West. Fourth site, East. Fifth site, Singapore, and so on, okay? And by the time, this is on a shared network, so by the time you get all of those added, if you go in and wait a couple of days typically and then start adding more, all the IPs will be different. So like when you go back to add a site on this US Central, you'll get a different IP address. So that's the real secret of getting these on and having multiple IPs is all based on the location with this particular hosting package.
And when I do it, I always write, like, when I create an account, I'll write down the IP, and I'll just make sure when I go to that location again, it's not the same IP. 'Cause sometimes it will give you the same IP, even if it's later down the road. So I'll just create a text file and just write down all the IPs you've used. When you create a new site, go back and check that list and see if it's been used. If you get the same IP, try deleting it. You can go over there in the account section, delete the account, and try just recreating it, the screen you see right here, either under the same location, see if you get a different IP or a different location. So.
And just so we're all clear, we had some questions about SEO hosting and some of this other stuff. This is like way cheaper than SEO hosting. It's like half the price of it probably. What you want to do is you want to get the reseller account. So, and you'll see on this particular account, I've got this level 200, but you can start out with this. I would just start out with this level 100, and this is plenty for you to get started, and it $18.95 a month.
Yeah, the reason I use Host9 is great to start with. The reason I use SEO hosting is just because I have so many sites. I probably have well over 500, so I can't put them all on Host9. I probably use 10 to 20 different hosting companies, so I think
Right.
Host9 is a good place to start.
And what you want to do too is you want to have your this is what I do. I don't have my money sites listed in Host9. I have them with a completely separate company. I use ASE. I use the same company Greg recommended, and I've got a Small Orange. I really like them, and then I've got Liquid Web too.
So I want to read out something that Holly said. She said, "Hey Derek, if you get the same IP address, go to Scripts Tools and migrate. It will migrate it to a new server. Just pick a different location, so you don't have to backtrack so much."
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So, and for everybody else that's following along too. So, thanks for the little tip there, Holly. Awesome. Let's see if there's any. Okay, so up to this point, is everybody still sort of you still tracking with us, guys? Right? Now, I know how many people feel like this is intimidating. How many people are like, "Oh shit, what did I get myself into?" Right? Like, you feel like this is like, something that you can't do, right? Bernard's intimidated a little bit. Nope, not intimidated, right? Nope, a little, right? Guys, don't be intimidated. Don't feel overwhelmed, and that's one reason why we keep these trainings. We try to keep them, as concise as possible, not to overwhelm you, right? And of course, when we replays, you can go back. But once you get this stuff and start doing it, again, no replacement for experience. Once you get this stuff and start doing it, and you get your groove, then you just replace yourself. Like, I haven't hosted or bought a domain. Well, I still go buy domains all the time because I like doing that shit. But I haven't put anything up on hosting or done any of that in a long time because I've replaced myself. I learned and went through it, and then I taught someone else how to do it for me. Just pay them to do it for me, right? So at least learn it enough that you can trust somebody to set an IT type person set this up for you as well. Let's see.
Yeah, and if you're still wanting to, when it comes to like getting it done quick, I mean, there's plenty of cloning tools that's out there where you can get these when you get them set up for the very first time with with all the different the way that you want them, whether it be like all the themes, just clone it and then just completely clone the process over and over again, and you can get a site set up in a matter of a couple of minutes versus it taking you 20 or 30 minutes setting it up and getting themes and plugins and all that stuff set up.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so let's see. We covered favorite SEO hosting. So another question was, with Class C IPs, you guys get dedicated servers or VPS servers or VPS? Can you do it with shared? Let's see.
As long as they're different IPs for me.
Yeah, as long
I'll
as
mix it up. But...
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is each PBN system? I mean, they're as big as as you make them, right? They're as big as you make them. There's really no limit to them.
Yeah, one thing I do, I mean, it's a little more advanced, but I'll group my sites where I might build like a 100 site network, and I'll only use that for a specific set of sites. So that way, if a network does get taken out somehow, I've never had that problem. I don't know anyone else that had that problem. If it does get taken out, my other networks are totally separate because they're not linking to the same site. So I mean, that's a little more advanced, but just something to think of.
Yeah, and there something, and you bring up a good point about not putting all your eggs in one basket too. You definitely don't want that, guys. You definitely don't want to rely on just one website ranking or just one video ranking. That's why we show examples of like, oh, we can rank the a video or Hangout quickly, and then that converts us. It converts and makes us money. Now it's time to march up other things. And if we have 4, 5, 6 spots on the first page, if one of those sites gets penalized, and you still have, you know, four sites and a video up there too. So one of the big things about SEO and where a lot of people run into problems is they put all their eggs in one basket, and if someone steps in that basket, you're screwed. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. Can you use management platforms like Main WP for setting up systems and managing things, or does that leave footprints that punches holes in credibility? I'm not sure what Main WP is.
It's like manage WordPress, like where you can make a bunch of changes to one site to a bunch of sites at once, like one click. I've used that for a couple hundred of my sites. It hasn't seemed to be a problem.
There you go. He's used it a couple of times, so perfect. Let's see. How do you have some link to come off?
I use my own custom plugin, Holly, that will syndicate to my network. So I got a plugin that would do that.
Yeah, and I'm just going down this question I have, these questions over here that I have from the big one in the Facebook group. I put them in this Word document. Let's see. And how do you go about? Okay, so how do you go about setting up the links coming off the front main page from each domain on the PBN? We just like what we do is we just tab it to the poster on, or what I do is the poster on the home page, and then every time we want to link out, you know, we just write a post and it's on the home page. Let's see. Content per post. You don't have to worry about. Okay, so here's a question. So how do you set up the content per post on blogs and PBNs all on one niche, or can the domain PBN have multiple niches coming off of it? You can have multiple coming off of it. I mean, it helps a little bit if it's completely irrelevant, but it doesn't the actual in your PBN. But it doesn't have to be. Don't focus on that. Don't break your back trying to find like the perfect relevant site to your market to put into your private blog network. Because you got to remember, you're going to be linking from these sites to all numerous different sites. We covered that. We covered. There's a question about not using something like these research tools, like they use Ahrefs, and you know there's OpenSite Explorer. And these research tools they all do pretty much the same thing, guys. It's just what we've done and what we're comfortable with. Like Greg's done, Greg has his process. You know, Derek has his process. I have my process. You guys are learning your process right now, and then eventually you'll have what you're comfortable and used to, right? Okay, so. Let's go back to the actual chat box of live attendees now. We covered most of the ones there. Let's see. Where are we? We just use, what themes should you use? We vary the themes, but it's just normally the free ones. We don't, you know, just get your site up, get it hosted on WordPress, and just slap a theme on it. One of the free ones are fine for us, or the basic one's fine sometimes. We might put like a different header image and make it look a little something other, but
Here's a question on the networks. Do I still use a static homepage versus blog post? And the answer is I mix it up. I like to use static homepages just for the simple fact that I know that link juice is not going to drip out or whatever, so I'll just stick an article as a home page, and then I'll have, you know, my links going out from there. So that's one thing. Again, it's just personal preference.
Yep, and it comes down to preference, because we have some that are like the same way. Like the home page is like an article, like a long article, and then our links are coming out of there. And then the majority of them, though, I would say probably 6 or 7 out of 10, we use the blog post type method, but we do throw articles up on some of them. Let's see. If you have a static homepage. Uh, let's see. If you have a static homepage when you're adding blog posts on inner, is that okay? Yeah. So I mean, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be, especially if your inner pages have page rank, and you know, and you have a good site.
The reason I do the static homepage is just to keep the PR juice going where I want it to be, and again, that's probably a little, it's kind of advanced or whatever, but that's the main reason why I keep the static on a lot of mine. That's why I'm doing a static homepage, is just so I know, because when you're doing the blog posts, let's say the most recent posts that are showing up on the homepage, some of those are going to drip off of the homepage. And so a lot of my sites, I'll put, you know, say 3 to 5 links in that article, so that way those links are super, super powerful to the money sites that I'm linking to. So again, it's just personal preference.
Greg, what do you do? Do you use articles and do you mix it up? Or are you all blog posts, or?
I'm pretty much all posts.
Yeah, yeah. I think like we're 6 or 7 out of 10 is definitely posts, but I do know we have some articles on some of our
Google
stuff.
is nowhere near as smart as people think they are.
I keep trying. This is what I said. Every time you fire, Google doesn't care, you know, and
Yeah.
and you got to stop being so selfish, guys. Google doesn't care about you. They're not looking at you every step that you make.
Stop being so selfish.
Stop being so selfish. You're not that cool. Google does not care about you. I mean, I'm being for real, because that's the problem. Like, well, if I do this, will Google do it? And it's like, listen, just do it and then see what happens. You know, another thing we can't do is predict the future. But
There's no Google police either.
yeah, there's Amazon has drones now, so you know.
Yeah.
So we can do that. Let's see. Google doesn't care about you, sad face. They might care about you, Holly. You're about to break YouTube if you ain't careful. Let's see. I wouldn't worry about that Robert manual review stuff. I mean, okay. Let's put it like this. Greg just told you he's been doing this for years. He has hundreds of sites. I've been doing this for years. I have hundreds of sites. Derek's been doing this for years. He has hundreds of sites. And the Google police has never came knocking on our door and hosed us. Okay? I think that I don't want you guys. This is the problem I see with a lot of things. Okay, when it comes to making money, like there is a fine line, guys, a very fine line between asking questions that are just becoming excuses. Because instead of making up an excuse, you can ask a question like, "Oh, I'm waiting on an answer," or "Oh, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm not going to do it." So be careful on how many questions you're asking that's stopping you from just doing this. Earlier in the call, I saw a lot of you already started buying sites, which is awesome. Now we covered where you can host them, how to hide it, right? So you guys need to be doing this after the call. Make sure you're hiding your footprints, and then find a page or something and put a post or two up and link out and see what happens.
And
right?
just to get to prove to people how little Google cares about us, I've been using the site as an example for my students for almost a year now. It's doing about $1,000 per day. I mean, it's got a lot of eyes on it. This site has a lot of eyes on it, and it's still ranking totally fine, making about $1,000 a day. I mean, it's been in the limelight for almost a year now. So just imagine you're someone that's completely under the radar. No one's looking at it at all. You know what I mean? So trust me, they're not paying nearly as much attention as you think.
Yep. We're not going to talk about press releases and stuff. I don't want to confuse people how they come into play, but press releases aren't a bad thing to do, right? But that's completely separate from what we're trying to accomplish or talk about today. So let's not get carried away over there. You have so many questions, man. Let's see. Yep. We read all your questions. Like I put them all. We answered almost all of them. They're great questions, though. By the way, I'm not picking on you. Let's see. Let's see. I want to most in a topic. I need to shoot transfer from register. What am I most? Let's see. So, Ian, are you saying when you get your new when you win your new domain, you're concerned about how long you have to put it up before it loses authority? Is that your question?
I think I know where he's going with this. I think
Okay.
what he's wanting to do is what his biggest concern is to keep the link juice that's out there. So like let's just say for example, and this is let's just say for example you go out and you buy a site that is a PR4 and it's got 100 inner pages that are on the domain. and that happens a lot. You know, you can go out there, you buy something that you think you're just buying a PR5, and then you get it, and you look at the inner pages, and you say, holy shit, you know, I've got 100 inner pages here that are ranked, that have got a PR3, PR4, PR1s. I think he's asking like how to preserve that, and I'm actually, you know, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. First of all, there's a plugin called Link Juicer that's free. It will link everything to the home page, and that way it will preserve that link juice. Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah, I think he said, yeah, that's right. Amen, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it. I'm working on another on a project that's going to be coming out probably in the next month or so that works to rebuild those inner pages. So it's something I've been working on for the last couple of months. It's just not ready to go there, but I'll keep you in the loop as to what's cooking with it.
Yep. Yep. You just basically, and I've actually gotten one of those before too. And actually, Derek, go whatever site we're looking at the backlinks. Go look at those top pages and see if there's any. And does everybody know how to find? Because you can find, say, a PR3, and you're like, I want to get to this site, but then you can look and then realize it has like 10 inner pages that are PR2, right? And if you recreate all those pages, and you have all those different PR on those different pages, but all you have to do, whatever research tool you use, whether it's Ahrefs or OpenSite Explorer, just look at the top pages, and it'll tell you, and then you just check the page rank of those inner pages, right? So you see what Derek's doing, right?
So you can see like these, you know, there's like this right here, view database. I mean, this has got 16 referring domains to it. It's got 36 backlinks going to it. I saw another question. A 301, that's just a redirect, okay? So using Link Juicer right now basically will redirect all those links to the home page, so that way you're not losing any of the link juice.
There's talk that wildcard redirects hurt your site. I've heard people talking about it. It doesn't, trust me. They're saying that Google finds that fishy. But there's so many sites out there that deem that naturally. You know, if they get rid of pages and there's links going to those pages, they want those people to go to their site still. They don't want them to see a 404 error. So if you heard the wildcard redirect doesn't work, and it works fine.
You can also, if you're familiar with a tool called Scrapebox, I don't have it on this machine or whatever. I'll show you how to use it, but basically what it is, you just type this in as a footprint, so it'd be site : and then the domain, and then it's going to pull up all the pages that are listed. And you could even do this in Google. So like if you did this and you did it in Firefox, and Firefox, if you've got the plugin, what was the plugin? SEO Quake?
SEO Quake, yeah.
Yeah, it will show you like the PR of all those, so you don't even really need to buy any software. You can just use it using Quake. Just type in that code. So it'll be site. I'll type this in the chat box for everybody. Site, and then yourdomain.com. And then you could actually see which pages are actually are still out there. And what you would do is try to you could recreate those pages. I saw another question: is can you use the content from the Wayback Machine? You can actually go to archive.org if you wanted to, and grab that content. That's not something that I do, but that is something that's out there if you wanted to do that. What I do is I try to make all the content relevant. I try to make all my content relevant to what I'm doing, what I'm trying to promote now. Even if the URLs are maybe different from what the content is, that's what I'm doing. So.
Perfect. Let's see. I'm looking through. Let's see. Holly's talking. I typed to her. Let's see. There's a software. Tim, I'm not sure what your question means. What was that domain again? We've talked about so many domains.
This is a question I get a lot. How many PBNs would you recommend per niche? And you know, I think it's best to say, you know, if you're starting out, you start small. You can always build links over time. You can always add more to your network. But you know, Greg was talking about earlier. He added, you know, one link in a week just track the movements. Well, you can do the same thing. You just, you know, get 1 to 2 sites going see what what kind of results you have with it, and just add more as time goes by. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy 100 sites right now. That's not what we're saying here. We're saying buy 3 to 5 and see where that gets you into your particular market.
Yep. Yep, and I remember a question sort of came in earlier. Is like how long in between like links, and the easiest thing, if I'm going to run a test or figure something out, build a link, and then watch it for 1 to about up to maybe even a week, 1 day to 7 days, and just see what happens after Google finds your link. Because if it's a really good link that you built, Google's going to find it pretty quickly and give you credit and the site credit. So when you're starting out, it's very easy for you to build one link off of one of your sites and then just see what happens to that website that you built that link to. Just watch it, and then it moves up, and build another link, and sort of feel along the process. And as you keep doing that, you will get a good feeling on how you need to drip out your links, on how many links it takes to do this.
One advantage too of having the blog network that we haven't really hammered home, and I really want to just really emphasize this, is just the ability to control the links. So let's just say in the future Google comes out with a new algorithm that says you can't have all these these keywords as your anchors. Say let's say they get even stricter. Well, guess what? You can just go into your blogs and change them out real simple. It's not something that you're going to have to go to all these different third-party sites and find all these links or whatever. So it's something that you can really control. So if you feel like you've overdone it or whatever, well, then you can always go back in and change and make an alteration to the anchor text and just see what happens from there. And it's a constant evolution of testing, tweaking, testing, and tweaking.
See, any video blog sites? I don't have any video blog sites. I don't know if these two fine gentlemen do, but I don't.
What do you mean video blog sites?
I think they mean it's just nothing but videos on there. It's just like every post is just a video, maybe.
I'll mix videos in with my content just to add variety, because what I want to do is I want to make it look as unique as possible. Because when Google's coming in and looking for unique content, they're not just looking at the text per se. What they're looking at is they're looking at the code. So what I try to do is I mix up the HTML, I mix up the video, I mix up the images. I try to have a good variety going. I mix up the word count, I mix up how many paragraphs there are. Just so it looks natural, guys. At the end of the day, it's as natural as possible. Like any other just website, just chilling on the internet. That's all that it should be. All by itself, just naturally sitting there, right? Let's see. I don't see. Then we talk about a video. Boop boop boop. I don't bother. Okay, so the question is how do you go about raising the PR and authority? We do with a very small, I'm testing some stuff, but right now we don't bother it. Okay, I know Greg says he doesn't bother, and the way that Derek mentioned earlier, he goes about it is using software and in comments and spam type stuff and to build it up. So and again, that's fairly new for me too, because I've been I just noticed a lot of the authority on some of my older stuff is started tanking. I've done that with Web 2.0s quite a bit, but doing that with some of the age domains that I have is something fairly new that I'm doing. So, but yeah, the process is the same though.
Dan asked a good question. He's just saying someone just talk about simply copying and pasting content from other niche sites, but giving it a source and not even writing your own content. Like I have a content manager, and we have a content budget, and we're always getting our own unique content and spinning it and all that stuff. So I've never copied and pasted somebody else's information and put it in my blog network and then source back. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, you guys, have you guys ever done that? We always just use our own content from content writers,
I mean, my network is so valuable to me that I'm not even going to take that chance. I mean, I have an article writer that does It's like $2 per 500 words, so I'll pay that any day over the possibility of using copied content over and over and over again. So
Yeah, I don't do that either. In the past, I've used Article Builder, and I still use Article Builder for some of the videos, but I'm doing less and less with Article Builder than what I have in times past. So
Yeah, we still use the best spinner, and I got a guy in my company that's just like crazy smart and is like create the most complex template I've ever seen in my life. It's like spun within spun within spun within spun within spun, and we're getting crazy unique content from just one article numerous times over.
something you may want to I would test out is Word AI. I've been using it a little bit the last couple of months, and I really like it. So just to add to the mix there, Ryan.
Yep, no, it's perfect. Let's see, Magic Submitter Pro, Integral Party Pro. I don't use Magic Submitter. I know Greg. Greg's the Magic Submitter expert. I think Derek, you use them too, but I know for sure that Greg does. So I don't know, Greg, if you wanted to sort of take that question to be asked.
actually, I mean, I just outsource Magic if I ever need it. But how do you utilize?
Let's say he says how to utilize Magic Submitter Pro is an integral part of your process or just a luxury.
Now
So it's like,
we use Magic type of stuff more for linking to like Web 2.0 properties. Like ranking Facebook pages, YouTube videos. I know you can use that for your money sites, but you'd have to be very, very careful. And I wouldn't recommend it.
do, do, do.
If you were going to use it for your money site, let's just have hypothetically, what would you recommend?
I would personally put a lot of time into setting up the anchor text section, make sure there's a lot of variation, and I would probably do PR2 or higher domains. I would start like there's so many different things you can do with Magic, like profile links and social and all that. I would just start with a couple of them. Run a campaign. I would make it a little slower and only choose PR2 or above, just to kind of stay safe at first.
Here's how I'm doing it. I'm doing something real similar. I'm doing if I'm doing it to the money site, then I'm mixing in when you've got the where you include your links. I'm mixing in like a Facebook fan page or a Twitter page or a YouTube page or whatever. It could even be a Yelp if you're doing a local type deal. You can do Yelp, some sort of authority, some sort of authority profile that I've created. And then I'll mix in, some of my inner pages. I'm not doing a whole lot to the home page. The only way I'm doing the home page is if I'm mainly doing brands or doing like naked URLs. And so then what I'll do is like what you're saying, I'll select the PR2s, and I'm only using like article directories, social networks, and the blog platforms. There's like four of the templates that I'm using, and then I'll take and then I'll add, a second tier to boost those, so where those links will get found and the authority will get pushed up on that. So that's kind of where I'm at.
And Derek's more advanced, so he can obviously safely do it. My recommendation would just be to start with the network and not worry about Magic. I mean, because it's just so much more powerful, and then kind of gravitate your way towards the tools. I mean, that would be my advice. But.
Yeah, like everybody that's on the call right now that doesn't consider themselves advanced or any expert at SEO, your focus, okay, and that's why reason we gave you the homework to look into these markets. This call is all about showing you how to set up your PBM properly, right? I want you to focus just on your tier 1, just on 3 to 5 sites, like Derek was saying. Don't worry about the Magic submitters and the Fiverr SE nukes and all that shit, okay? I want you to focus on getting up a few sites, okay? Use the process that we just showed you to hide your footprints. And then you don't have to, for the first couple of links, just write your own content. Just put up something. Put up a paragraph and link out to a page or one of your pages or something and see what happens. Okay? I want you guys to focus on that. And as you figure out that process and get that down, then you can start, baby stepping your way up, into these more advanced stuff. But we're saying all the advanced things that we can now because this is recorded. You can reference back later. This membership, you'll have your login forever. The content will be there, and you can always come back and reference this stuff. So if this is flying all over your head, just don't worry about it right now. It'll make sense as you start to learn this stuff. Remember, first week was basic. We want to get more advanced, and then next week's going to be mainly about monetization and how to sell this stuff. that you're doing for those interested. Okay, so.
So something else too. You know, a lot of people want to talk about these automated softwares. You're going to get so much more value out of the age domains, and you're going to see so much more movement out of the age domains than any software that's out there, bar none. Like if you start buying these age domains and you look at them and you get some real authoritative sites, you're going to see more movement from doing that than you will anything else, hands down. I'm telling you, that's the way to go if you can if you start doing that. So, you know, just worry about the software later on, you know, or just use it just for videos and Web 2.0 stuff. But you're going to, hands down, it's gonna give you the most bang for your buck.
Yeah, so Jordan just recapped, and I'm just going to read what he said. So Jordan, this is what Jordan says. So basically, make some PBNs, so make some websites without footprints, use varied anchor text, how Greg was showing you, to some money sites, and track what happens. Is that a fair summary for today? Yes, that is like exactly what I want most of everybody to take away from today. There are a few people on the call that are going to benefit from the advanced stuff, and some of you are just going to be confused. You got to remember, we're talking to a crowd of brand new to advanced, right? So let's see. I'm gonna put that in a group later, Antano, because I got to find it. Let's see, how do you often update sites? You guys see any questions coming out? Because we're going to wrap this up here really soon because we're going to start losing people because we're going on near 2 hours. And it just takes a while to do other video rendering and everything too. So I want to make sure that we covered everything we want to get to today as far as getting your PBNs up and running. So that way, next week when we talk, hopefully everybody will have some results to share. How do you track? Yeah. Let's see.
All of my network is all WordPress. I don't know about you guys. I saw that question come in.
We are all WordPress, and we have like a few that aren't WordPress that one of our partners built whatever geeky nerdy stuff they built it on the back end.
Until it stops working.
Until it stops working. That's right.
There's so many people using WordPress, though. It's going to be hard to have a footprint, with WordPress. It's just so many users.
This is one thing I do want to touch on, though. Okay, these like Chinese and other language type domains with all those different type of spam links. Listen, like if you want to use those for short term, if you get those types of domains, go into it thinking this site's not going to be like this forever. It's probably going to tank after a while. So only use it for short-term gains and benefits. It's not a long-term strategy. If it ends up working in the long term, then good. Okay, but more times than not, like every site that I bought that I knew that was a short-term gain when we did this last PR update, they went down. I knew that was going to happen, though. It wasn't a surprise to me. I knew that we were just going for some short-term stuff. So.
And don't spend a whole lot of money on them. Like whatever you do, don't spend a whole lot of money on those. Because those are sites that you can find that they're a dime a dozen, right?
Let's see. Yep. Find group later. You can buy this crappy 1-3 on your competition. Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's wrap it up. We shoved a lot of stuff down you today, very fair today. Okay, guys. And hopefully everybody here learned a tremendous amount of information. You got to hear it 3 different ways from 3 different people doing it. And I trust both of these guys a lot. Everybody, thank Greg for coming on because he didn't have to at all. So please thank Greg. Derek and I promised you we'd be here today, so we kind of had to be here. You know what I mean? But Greg didn't. Out of the kindness of his heart, he jumped on here with us. So make sure you tell Greg thanks in the chat box, please. And we'll have this video up and rendered as quickly as possible in the membership site today or tomorrow. We'll let you know via the Facebook group and your email when it's ready, or just check in the membership later. I don't know if Greg or Derek had any parting words here before we wrap this up. I just want to see if you guys have anything to say.
Now, I want to thank Greg too for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's always good stuff. Good jamming with you.
Oh, well, good, man. Had fun. I gotta go to the bathroom now.
Yeah, go ahead on that. Thanks for calling again, Greg. And you and I we'll jam out later, anyways. And everybody else for who is here and learning and trying, just keep it up. I know some of this shit sounds intimidating. I can barely turn on my computer, and I figured it all out. So I have the utmost faith in everybody on this call to be able to do it. If for homework this week, I want you guys, if you haven't already, to buy 3 to 5 domains. Okay, get them up and get some links out and try to rank something. So when we talk next week, you can share some results with us. Okay, utilize the Facebook group. We're in there as active as we can be. Remember, all three of us run numerous businesses, so please be respectful of our times too as well. Don't tag us all the time and all that stuff. We'll interact with you guys. Okay, so other than that, we'll see you guys in the Facebook group. We'll see you guys next week.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.